Now, Ghana's ambition to eradicate poverty under the Sustainable Development Goals may not be fully achieved, as many beneficiaries of social protection programs do little to demand better livelihood support from government. The civil society platform for social protection Ghana is re-echoing the need for Ghanaians to appreciate their entitlement to programs under the government's social protection policy. They believe the approach of seeing the policy as a right and not a charity would facilitate poverty eradication in the country by 2030. There's more on the following report.
Under the National Social Protection Policy, the government of Ghana constituted a framework in response to vulnerability and poverty. 5 programs, including the Ghana School Feeding Program and the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty (LEAP), are to guarantee relief for a section of the Ghanaian population. Civil society organizations are citing the lack of insight into concepts underpinning the policy as a major reason for the ineffectual rollout of the programs. Christiana Bedema, a social policy specialist with the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund.
One of the things that can help us is to also empower the demand side of social protection, because with the supply side, government is doing its best, but the people who are receiving the benefit, they must also understand that they are entitled to this benefit, because that changes the narrative. If you know that you have a right to something, you are entitled to it. The way you approach it is different from when you feel that it's a charity, it's a gift, you're not entitled, it's a favor that somebody is doing to you. And if you think it's a right, you approach it in a different way. It changes how you even provide feedback on the program and how you see things. So with the Rise campaign, we want to empower our citizens, Ghanaians, people who receive social protection programs, that these programs are there for them, and the government has a duty to respect, to promote, to protect, and fulfill this right.
Available data suggests that over 2 million Ghanaians live in abject poverty as of 2022. Under Ghana's $3 billion IMF bailout, the government has committed to expanding the LEAP coverage to all 2.5 million extremely poor individuals by 2024, as estimated by the Ghana Living Standard Survey. Stakeholders believe the target could only be achieved if the government prioritizes social protection as a right of the people.
We've also gone into the IMF program, and for 3 years, a lot of commitments have been made by the government. It's also very important that after the 3 years, what happens? So the government has made commitments for the social sector, especially the LEAP cash transfer and other programs, to make sure that they protect funding for those programs. But after the 3 years, what do we want to see? We want to see this continuous commitment for the sector. And how will government continue to see this as a priority? Is if they see this as a right for Ghanaians. They realize that it's a right they must fulfill, they must promote, they must protect at all times, with or without the IMF program. So that is why this is important, and the atmosphere is very conducive for this campaign.
In Ghana, street begging is an unmistakable sight to behold, despite being an unlawful practice. The CSOs are partly attributing the seemingly unending begging habit to reduced implementation of livelihood projects to support genuinely poverty-stricken individuals. Oberon Jalil Odum is with Inclusion Ghana.
I think that one, they don't know that this is a right, and so they cannot claim it. Obviously, if you know that there is an intervention by government, it means that you can actually submit yourself to be assessed so that you can benefit from it. But many people don't know this. And so I think that critically, what government should do a lot more is to make sure that they are communicating the programs to the general citizens. People want to know, people must know, and people should know.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.